We're on Skype, gremlins in the system, and it's not always perfect because I'm sat here at home and not in a radio studio. But we were talking about the myth of overpopulation and the fact that the UN's own figures prove that it is a myth and that world population will start to decline dramatically after 2050. So it's established that overpopulation is a fraud. And yet still, people in the environmental movement push this as a reason to enact these draconian control measures on our lives, things like the carbon tax, the one-child policy. And what's fundamentally scary about who actually is advocating these measures is that it's not just John Holdren and people in the White House, which is obviously scary enough, and Al Gore and James Lovelock and Hansen and all the rest of them. But if you trace this back to the 80s where it began, this eugenics idea that we need to reduce global population dramatically, it actually traces back, in one sense, to one of the most evil men that has ever been considered to walk the earth, and that is Charlie Manson, the mastermind of the 9 infamous brutal murders in 1969 in California, including those of Sharon Tate and her unborn baby. Now, here's something you probably didn't know, and it's something I didn't know until I started watching the prison interview tapes with Charlie Manson. Charlie Manson, in the mid-1980s, was one of the first global warming alarmists. So Manson, this cult leader, shares the same belief system as Al Gore, John P. Holdren, James Lovelock, Hansen, and the rest of the climate cult. And Manson states very clearly in these prison interviews that CO2 is destroying the earth, that emitting it is a sin, and that we need to carry out mass eugenics, soft kill programs in order to reduce overpopulation. And this is not just, you know, what he was talking about 20 years ago. To this day, Manson, in his prison cell, has a new breed of followers that come to hear his environmentalist message about overpopulation. Now we're going to go to a clip, which is a 1988 prison interview with Manson conducted by Geraldo Rivera, where Manson talks about how we need to kill 50 million people in order to save the planet. So now we go to this clip.
I chopped up 9 hogs, and I'm going to chop up some more. I'm going to kill you as many as I can. I'm going to pile you up to the sky. I figured about 50 million. If I could get about 50 million of you, I might be able to save my trees and my air and my water and my wildlife.
You want to kill 50 million people?
Well, that's just a drop in the bucket to what's really coming. Yeah, that's just a drop in the bucket to what's really coming.
So there you have Manson talking about the need to kill 50 million people and pile the bodies up to save the air, the trees, the water, the animals. We have other clips posted in this article on prisonplanet.com where he talks about the polar ice caps melting, the heat from people's cars contributing to global warming. Charlie Manson, the infamous murder mastermind, was one of the foremost and first promoters of global warming alarmism. Now, why does that matter? Some people will say, you know, what does it matter what this guy who's been in prison for, 40 years says? Well, it matters because his rhetoric matches exactly the rhetoric of the White House science czar. John P. Holdren and Charlie Manson are saying the same thing. And in fact, in John P. Holdren's Eco-Science, he makes it very clear who should be running this eugenics program. He talks about a planetary regime, which is very interesting considering who Charlie Manson said should be running this system. And we go to that clip now.
Man doesn't back up to his fear. He goes straight into his fear. We've got to get a one-world government.
I don't want to talk about all this.
Yeah, we've got to have it, man.
A one-world government. That's what we're talking about with this eugenics soft kill program, and we'll explore it more after this break on The Alex Jones Show. Stay tuned.
We all know that Berkey water purification systems are the most trusted name in water filtration. As an authorized Berkey dealer for over 5 years and serving thousands of satisfied customers, the Berkey Guy offers amazing specials for Berkey water filtration systems. The Berkey Light systems include a set of self-sterilizing and recleanable black purification elements that purify water by removing chlorine, pathogenic bacteria, cysts, and parasites to non-detectable levels and remove harmful chemicals such as herbicides and pesticides. Order the Berkey Light system today, complete with 2 black Berkey elements for only $209, and the Berkey Guy will include 3 sport Berkey water bottles and ship everything to you free of charge. That's right, 3 sport Berkey water bottles and free shipping. An $87 value, yours free. Call the Berkey Guy at 1-877-886-3653. That's 1-877-886-3653. Or order online at goberkey.com. That's goberkey.com today.
Gold. If you listen to the radio, watch TV, or surf the net, you are hearing about gold. Eventually you will ask yourself, is gold right for me? The answer might surprise you. We protect ourselves and our families from many things. Do you have medical insurance? Is your home insured? Do you carry life insurance? How about financial insurance? If you own gold, then the answer is yes. If you don't own gold, the question is, why don't you have financial insurance? We put our faith in things we trust. Do you trust the dollar? Do you trust the economy? Do you trust the government? Gold has always been something you can trust. For thousands of years, people have put their faith in gold. Where will you put your faith? Now is the time to protect yourself and your family. Call Midas Resources today at 1-800-686-2237, extension 242. 1-800-686-2237, extension 242. And ask for Jim Parker. Let me help you get started today. 1-800-686-2237, extension 242.
The question is, where should the American people draw their line in the sand?
What have we got? A republic or a monarchy?
A republic is based on a constitution which protects minority rights.
Not democracy, not mob rule, 2 wolves and a sheep voting on what's for dinner.
So they think they own our land, they think they own our water, children, our education, our money.
We have to define who we are and what we will tolerate.
Somebody's going to ask you what you did during the Patriot Uprising.
You have been warned.
We have the facts. We have the Constitution. We have the Bill of Rights. We have common law. Knowledge is power, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm so excited to be able to offer you Don't Tread on Me, Rise of the Republic. Tyranny is upon us, but liberty and the sleeping giant that is the American people is rising. A new tool in the Infowar. Don't Tread on Me. Order it at Infowars.com or PrisonPlanet.com or call toll-free 888-253-3139 and support independent, patriotic Liberty films.
If you're in a service business, that's money ringing in your ears. If your phone's not ringing, chances are it's a problem with your marketing. Landscapers, painters, roofers, carpet cleaners, pet sitters, handymen. Anyone with a residential service business can build a huge and loyal customer base fast with the Magic Yellow Flyer. No more expensive newspaper, yellow pages, or internet pay-per-click ads. The Magic Yellow Flyer will have new customers calling you within 1 week. The Magic Yellow Flyer marketing system is the most effective and inexpensive way to build a referral-only service business in a short period of time. And the Magic Yellow Flyer comes with an outrageous 1-year guarantee. You will get new customers or your money back. For details, go to MagicYellowFlyer.com. No matter what business you're in, the Magic Yellow Flyer marketing system will work for you. Visit MagicYellowFlyer.com. Put the Magic Yellow Flyer to work for you today. Visit MagicYellowFlyer.com.
Welcome back. It's the Alex Jones Show, Tuesday, September 7th. I'm Paul Joseph Watson, filling in for Alex, who is away working on a project with Governor Jesse Ventura. And we're talking about the religion of death. We're being brainwashed, not only politically, financially, socially, but spiritually and culturally. We're being brainwashed to believe in the religion of death. Neo-eugenics under the cloak of global warming and the myth of overpopulation. And we were playing the clips before the break of notorious criminal mastermind the man who led the cult, the infamous Manson family that slaughtered 9 people in the summer of 1969. And Manson, from his prison cell in California, now has a new mission for his followers, and that is the mission of environmentalism and overpopulation, which as far back as the mid-80s, Manson communicated through these prison interviews when he said that the polar ice caps were melting because of CO2 and that we need to kill 50 million people in order to save the air, the water, the trees and the animals. And just by coincidence, the modern proponents of neo-eugenics, people like Al Gore, John P. Holdren, James Lovelock, are saying exactly the same thing as Charlie Manson. Does that concern us at all, that a man who masterminded the brutal slaughterings of 9 people and who has a swastika carved in his forehead has the same doctrines as the people who now run the environmental movement? Should that concern us at all? Let me know what you think. We'll take your calls in the next segment on 800-259-9231. That's 800-259-9231. So we played the clips of Manson, Charlie Manson, saying we need to kill 50 million people, and that's just a drop in the bucket of what's really coming. And he went further in other interviews, especially more recent interviews, in fact. For example, an interview with CNN, or a phone conversation that was obtained by CNN. Manson said that basically carbon dioxide is a sin and that we need to pay indulgences on it. He said we were sinning against the air. And all these documents and videos are linked from my article today on prisonplanet.com. So we see Charlie Manson embracing the same beliefs as Al Gore with the carbon tax. We see him embracing the same beliefs as John P. Holdren with the mass kill eugenics policy. And we also see him calling for a return to the agrarian age. In another interview, they interview one of his followers. That's right. I mean, Manson's got a new family now that move close to the prison and listen to his lectures on global warming. And, quote, Charlie says we need to get back to the horse. That's what one of Manson's followers said. So now he's preaching that we need to return to the agrarian age, the pre-1700 pre-industrial age, which is also something advocated by an author called Keith Farnish, who is a top environmentalist, and he wrote a book recently calling for acts of sabotage and environmental terrorism in blowing up dams and demolishing cities in order to return the planet to a pre-industrial society. Now, what's amazing about his book is it's endorsed by Dr. James Hansen, who is one of the most prominent environmentalists and scientists in America. He's the NASA guy. He's the big NASA guy, James Hansen. He endorses a book that calls for demolishing industrial society in the name of saving the planet. And this is similar rhetoric to what the murder mastermind Charles Manson now preaches to his new following from his jail cell in California. And of course, we're talking about this because last week, James J. Lee, this crazed gunman, went into the Discovery Channel building with explosives, took hostages, and we later learned that he did so because he wanted the Discovery Channel to air more programming about global warming. So these nutcases that are being influenced by this eugenicist propaganda, these people that have been inducted, who have bought the religion of death, are now out there acting on their crazed beliefs of overpopulation and man-made global warming by committing or attempting to commit acts of violence. We had the couple in Argentina who killed their own child. So I want to hear what you think about this when we come back after the break. We'll take your calls on the Alex Jones Show. What do you think about the religion of death and the fact that it's advocated by not only Holdren but also Charlie Manson? Stay tuned. We'll be back. This is the Alex Jones Show.
We're on the march. The Empire's on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.